Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. We're going to have Stephanie joining us. We're going to have a couple other people joining us that have some specific live examples of pricing they need help on. If you are new to us, if you are getting more in the flow of CloudCMA, this is going to be helpful to you. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There's actually no need to have your cameras on today. You don't need them. We can just go about this blissfully. You can see I'm actually right now in a lease, redoing a lease for somebody. We've got all kinds of cool tools for you coming up on leases. I'm going to have a new video out.
But there's someone or something
as well. Guys, do go ahead and mute yourselves, please, on the way in. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off so that is not distracting to us. We're going to dive right in. So we have two properties that are our subjects today. And so we always start out with getting in the MLS. That is the basic. And of course, your client, if they are on ZenList, they get an idea on ZenList of what's going on in the area around any active listings. They can also do market research on ZenList, which is wonderful, but it will never replace what you do for them as an agent. So we have a property that is going to be our first subject property, and it is 5225 Old Reserve Road in Oswego. So I always start by looking and seeing if this property has ever been on the MLS before, because we're assuming that this is somebody that you've not been to their house, most likely. So you can see this property has luckily been on the market and sold several times. The danger, though, of coming in a full market prior to listing a property is you've not been in that. And I'll give you an example. So then that way we can always unmute yourselves later. Thank you. All right, I believe I've got everybody muted now. So okay, let's get into it. If the property has never been on the MLS before, I want to encourage you to go into the archives. So if we use this same example in the archives, 5225 Old Reserve Road, and we go all the way back to the beginning of time, you will find sometimes properties that are not on the MLS. And of course, we did find this one on the MLS, but it is sometimes helpful to go back and look and see if a property, if it's not on the MLS currently, the current MLS goes back to about mid-2006. Everything else is in this archives feature under search. Again, the danger of going into archives is that it will give you a baseline of what's happened with an older property way back in the day. But that doesn't mean that people haven't improved that property. So we're going to go back in now through the straight up regular MLS. And same applies there. It doesn't mean that what's on the MLS from past sales is what currently is going on with the property. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look. This property in the past had 4 bedrooms. It was listed as 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. At one point, they added another bedroom downstairs and another bath, at least a half bath downstairs. And that doesn't mean that they haven't done more things since then. So that is a baseline for the property. What we're looking for here, one of the big things, we are looking for the PIN number. And we're going to do a little bit more research. So this property did sell in 2018. Looks like that is the most recent sale. And that's when it had 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, 3-car garage. Beautiful house, by the way. So the agent that gave this to me as a potential property to look at for this exercise today, my next recommendation is to go and look in Remind. What does Remind have about the property? That's going to tell you a little bit more. It's going to tell you who technically is the owner of the property. If they live on site, you're going to get some tax details about the property. You can go and you can double check them on the county assessor's website as well, depending on where the property is. And there's also a thing called valuation in Remind. Now, that is AVM. What does AVM mean? AVM is the automated valuation models. That's AI, artificial intelligence, deciding that places like Zillow, even though they've never seen the home, they never walked the home, they don't walk the neighborhood, they think based on what they have in their records as a size of the property, that they have some sort of range of the property. So you're seeing these people paid in 2018, they paid 460, so a little bit over asking. And now you've got these valuations from Remine up to the mid 600s. First American Titles got it up to the high 600s. Zestimate with a big range there, 634. So if you're really flying blind, for example, do I hang out in Oswego every day? No, I do not. I know where it is. I've sold a little bit over the years there, but not one of my regular areas. It's really helpful if you're newer or if you are kind of checking your work in an area you don't know very well. Great extra information just to see a baseline. And I sometimes share that with my clients. Sometimes I don't. What's another great tool for your baseline? That's going to be RPR, Realtors Property Resource. I know very few people talk about it. I'm a big fan of it. Realtors Property Resource. Let's go into Realtors Property Resource and see if 5225 Old Reserve pulls up. There it is in Oswego. Realtors Property Resource, it is paid for as part of your MLS dues. And they have what's called the RVM, the Realtors Valuation Model. And you can find out more about RVMs and AVMs by clicking that button. Still, it's just a range. They haven't seen the property, and most likely neither have you yet. But it's really smart to at least have a baseline of what's going on in the area before you roll up to see this property for the first time. Again, I'm going to tell you, I do not price the property and prepare a formal CMA before I go out to the property. But it is smart to know what's going on in the area because people are going to ask you on site, well, what do you think it's worth? I'm always going to tell them, I'm going to get back to you within 24 hours, or I'll set a specific time so I'm not risking I'm creating some accountability for myself, but I'm not going to come up with these numbers before I get there, because what if they've done great work to the property or they've trashed it? It could be much different than this. What if the AVM and the RVM have missed some information on the property? I also do look and see what the name is. So that's Roberto and Lisa Medina. And let's see if, wonder if they're related to Laura. But then you go up in here and let's see who the owner is in here. May not mean that's the accurate information, but it is sometimes smart to know what's going on with the property. So there is Lisa and there's Roberto also listed there. So hopefully that's who you are going to meet, unless they've said they're a family member at the property. I do sometimes like to look at that. All right, let's go into actual details on the home. So Stephanie, I believe you're on with us today. Have you seen this property yet? Feel free to unmute yourself.
It was a while ago. I believe it's mostly the same, except they added a beautiful in-ground pool to the property.
Oh, I love it. Okay, in-ground pools can add value. Above ground pools may not. Depends on the condition. Also depends on buyer preference. But either way, so we're going to assume it is that 4-bedroom up, 5th bathroom down, plus that it now has 4.5 baths. So this is a big house. So what are we going to do next? Just one more thing I want to show you is, again, Zenlist now has both for you and the consumer. I am on the Zenlist advisory board, just like I am for Rent Spree and Wise Agent. So I'm really getting in with our tool providers. I love what they've done on Zenlist so that your clients can have a baseline of what's going on in the area as well. So if we say what's going on in Oswego, of course, this property isn't listed yet, and we say we're going to do a filter for just detached single-family homes, and they're going to be able to see these detached single-family homes in the area, what's going on price-wise. Let's narrow it down a little bit further. Let's go into number of beds. So I'm going to click on 4 and 5 plus. So that selects that. I'm going to click on 4 plus beds. And look at this. No listings right now. 3 listings total, none private. So there's one for 676. Let's go ahead and see where the other ones are. Can't even see the other ones. So let's go ahead and click on this one. And this is the same thing your client's going to see. So if you're on HomeSnap or anything else, you're missing out because they're not getting the private listing network. They're not getting the ability to set up their own searches. And the one argument that was there for HomeSnap was, well, they've got some information about the area. Well, now look at this. Similar homes sold nearby. This is what both you and your clients see. It has a really brilliant mortgage calculator that adds in different information. And then look at this: sold prices, average list prices, average sold prices, days on market, based on these 6 listings. So it's giving them a little idea of what's going on in their area in general. But that is not a CMA, is it? We're going to do a real CMA. So let's get right into it. But I wanted to show you that feature of ZenList first for both you and clients, buyers, sellers, renters alike. Great information. So this property, we're going to go ahead and open up a new window. And how you do that is you click on this file folder up here to make a new window. And of course, we are going to be in apples to apples areas. So we're going to go into apples to apples areas and apples to apples property type, detached single. I am curious to see what else is on the market. And then I'm also going to go into closed and pending. And I'm going to pick that area. And I'm going to say minimum 4 bedrooms, maximum 5, because it does have that below grade bedroom. And then I'm going to say full and half baths, minimum 4, maximum 6. I'm going to probably narrow that down a little bit in a moment. Months back, I'm going to start with 3 months back. Actually, I'm going to go 4 months back towards the beginning of the year, because that's when things have been crazy. Last fall was slow. Longer than that back, probably not even relevant to an appraiser. An appraiser likes the last 3 months, 6 months max within a mile of the property. And look at what we're seeing. There's only one active for 676, one closed at 700. I normally will look and say, okay, what's not apples to apples? This $2 million house. That is probably different acreage, different situation. We're going to talk about acreage a little bit later. So these other ones, 5 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 5 bedrooms. So these are the real apples to apples, is the 623, 625, or 623, 635 sold and closed. The active one for 676. We're seeing a little bit of a price band here, aren't we? I'm always looking for some sort of commonality with other properties around it. So I'm probably going to take out Treasure, because that is really low. And I'm probably going to keep out the $2 million one. And then we got this price band. We got the, well, here's the stuff that's probably not so great at 480, 490. Here's your max, the top end of it, these 2 beautiful ones. And what I love about CloudCMA, let's talk about CMA products for a second. CloudCMA is paid for by our MRAD dues. It interacts with Wise Agent. It is by far the best CMA piece. If you are old school, and I can say that based on being old school myself, I fought using CloudCMA for a long time. I use Remind 360, which does not show people any of your marketing. It does not show people any of the interior photos of the house. It is a very basic CMA. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. It's not doing the job. You can also just do what some old school agents do, like I used to do. We may have 1 or 2 on the call, and I appreciate your experience, but can I show you? Clicking on these and then sending them in an email is not a CMA anymore. We want to do the best CMA possible. CloudCMA is the best. Why is that? I'm about to show you. So once you've got your selections here, you're going to go and click on this little green cloud at the top. And that's going to give you your CloudCMA. Now I'm going to do this for Stephanie as if she's the client. But I know that obviously she's not the client. You would send it to the client when you're ready. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to send it just to Stephanie. So let me go ahead and send this on to Stephanie. I'm going to show you the full details of that. So I'm going to put their first and last name, because it's smart to be able to see that later. And then I'm going to put the address of the property. That's the property itself, the subject property. And that's why I opened 2 screens, because I'm forgetful. 5225 Old Reserve Road. In some cases, it will, especially with single family homes, it will pull up the tax details on the property. Sometimes that will give you number of beds and baths. Sometimes that information is wrong. So 4.1 baths. Square footage, they've got it listed at 3183. Sometimes you'll have square footage, sometimes you won't. It is an acre of land, just over an acre, which is great to know. We're going to now fetch listings. Some of you will click on, they call it quick and dirty, to pull stuff around the area. Danger, danger. It will pull up crazy stuff, in my opinion. I want to do it this way. I want to look for price bands, and I'm going to do it the old school way, which is doing a little groundwork. AI can't do everything for you. It can do a lot. Okay, so now that we've got these there, you're going to look and instantly there's averages. See, when we talked about price bands, there's an average of 600, median 623, high 700, low is 480. You're now click on customize report. And it's going to ask you some questions. What do you want? In the custom report, and I have another video showing you how to do this, you have access, all of you, to a library of things to add pages. What do I add? I'm going to add the seller's guide. And so that's one thing I'm going to add. I'm going to add the $7 million donations because I love that we're a charitable company. I'm going to add the expert marketing suite flyer, the smart sign flyer, the AdWorks flyer. And again, you have access to all of this, and the Ad Center flyer. If you're not going to use the Ad Center or AdWorks, I wouldn't put them in here because the client's going to be doing what? Looking for that later. And you can always move any of these up or down. See where you can move them up and down? So I'm moving the charity to the end. So what I love again about this is that it's building you a CMA with huge details for the client, but it's also giving more information about you. So when somebody else rolls in there and just sends them the old school way or gives them a piece of paper with averages, you're going to be able to do this. So I'm going to click on publish. And the best thing here, now you can download the PDF, you can send them the PDF. The live link is where the real good stuff is. So that's going to publish. And then if you send them the report, what it's going to do is you're going to then tell them, hey, I want you to click on the live link because then you and I can both see the same things and walk through it. And then I can do a Zoom with them. I can walk into their home with them. I can do anything I need to do to walk them through this. Because remember, a lot of these people may not live in the property. They may be out of town, out of state, hard to get a hold of. Some of you have watched my videos or been in class with me when I've shown you this is also the way you would do an unsolicited CloudCMA, because man, these are great. The live link is so powerful because what? Look at this. There's the averages of all the prices. If they don't agree with the comps, which I'm about to show you, they can unselect a comp and it will readjust all the averages and everything. So watch this. We've got Wabansia, we've got Willowwood. So let's look here. Wabansia may be the weakest link. You know why? Let's look at it. This one is sold and Willowwood is sold. We can look at how close these are. So click on map. This is again why we love the live link. Is there anything that is way too far out? You know what? I think it may be this 480 comp. I'm starting to sour on this comp. It's the cheapest. It's farthest away, although the 490 is also far away because there's your subject property in the middle. So let's go back in these comps and watch what we can take out. When you click on any individual comp, you or the client, in the top right-hand side, not only does it have all the beautiful pictures of the property, so I can do what? I call it the optometry test. Better or worse? Is this better or worse? This looks virtually staged. Better or worse than your property? Kitchen and bath especially, better or worse? If theirs is better than this, that is some, no offense to anybody with those cabinets, not the newest, not the freshest. That may not be better, it may be worse in a lot of places. I can take that comp out by unselecting include comp. And then when I go back to the averages, number one, that's gone. And number two, see, it's gone here. The average price and the median price just went up from 600 to 620. It redid the math for you. You can't do that in a PDF. You can't see these in other ways. This is huge, guys. So what you can do then is share this with them. And then you've also got all your additional information. So I'm going to go back to the home screen within the live link. And you can walk them through your seller's guide. You could also, of course, send it to them separately. Here's all the cool stuff you're going to do for them. That's all built right in once you add that in the custom pages. Expert marketing suite, smart sign. We love our smart signs. All this cool stuff is right there built into your system so that everything is there, not only on the properties and it's adjustable and they can see all the details on each property, they're also seeing more about you. It's the only CMA product that makes it both about them and about you, as well as a full visual of each comp. So Stephanie, I'm ready if you are. I'm going to go ahead and send this on to you. You click on email report, and we're going to send this on right now to Stephanie. And you're going to send yourself a copy as well. And I will always, if there's a unit number, put the unit number so it's easy to search for later. And again, I always then let them know I love using the live link, because the live link, I can walk you through it and see the same things you do. And we can adjust it. And it's live updated. So that's now sent to Stephanie. So Stephanie, you now have an idea of what's going on in the area. You can adjust the comps. And it is a beautiful, beautiful product to walk people through what's going on in their area. What else could we send them? Well, since we were in RPR for a second, let's go ahead and click on Market Trends. And this is all what's going on in the area. And it's got inventory. You know, is there problems in the area with foreclosures? Well, you know, I got to tell you, look at this right now. There is one pre-foreclosure and one foreclosure available right now. And then here's median property values, what's been going on in the property values. We can look at sold comps, price per square foot for those that have square foot. Really, really smart stuff. And you can create that report and send that on to them as well. So because very few agents are using RPR, what does that make it look like? You know the area better than most. These are also great for social media. So I gave you a little bonus on social media. All right. Any questions so far? Guys, we just did.
Can I ask a question real quick? So you send both of those together, right? So you go to RPR and you combine those two with the information that you send them.
Reggie, right? Reggie,
yeah, this is Reggie.
We got to get you guys, get Reggie some more ADT leads, get you guys some money. I love that he's on today. He is systematizing his business. He's building a team around him. I'm so excited for him. CloudCMA makes it super easy to systematize, because when I send out a CMA, whether it's solicited or unsolicited, what do I want to do later? I want to go back and see if these people have seen that CMA, right? So look at this. I can go into CloudCMA at any point later on and see the recent reports. Stephanie's already seen it. She's got a view. Look at Nicole and Tom, my friends in Hoffman Estates, longtime friends and clients. They've looked at this thing 4 times. So when we talk tomorrow about red light, green light, yellow light, which Reggie and I came up with on a coaching call, by the way, who am I going to say green light to? Tom and Nicole, Elizabeth. By the way, both of these are new listings coming up for me. I'm excited about. Who would I say yellow light? Brian hasn't even looked at this one. And by the way, the little green circle, that is an automated CMA that you can do through CloudCMA and Wise Agent, sending them updates monthly. Genius stuff. Genius stuff. Andrew, seen his thing 2 times. Last time 20 days ago. I probably should check in with Andrew. Green, maybe yellow light. So if somebody's got a red light, if somebody's got no looks, that's a red light. Same way that we're going to do in Zenlist tomorrow. But to answer Reggie's question, though, no, I'm not sending them at the same time. CloudCMA, the minute that you send that out, that is its own email. That's its own email. It's going to go to them and to you. And then there's going to be a second email with your RPR, which, Reggie, going back to, is this, do we put this in a separate email? Yes, because this is a great follow-up touch. Here is a little bit more information if they haven't opened green light, red light, yellow light, if they haven't opened this stuff yet. You can absolutely send them one right after the other. I don't have a problem with that, but this may be a nice thing to save in your back pocket for step number 2, if they are not already active clients that are very engaged. Hope that made sense.
It did. Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on then to, man, these are great stats to do on social media. Do a video, do a post. Man, good stuff here. We'll come back to that another day. All right. How do you do it with land? Well, I'm glad you asked. Land is a tough animal. So we've talked today about something easy, which is a property that's on the market. It is or a property that's been listed in the past, so we didn't even have to go into the archives. Then look at this. We've got another one for you. We have Karen Mika, had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Karen. She's on showings right now, but busy lady. She is got a property address, 801 Bratton in Marcellus. 801 Bratton. Well, guess what? I can almost guarantee you this has never been on the market because this is vacant land. So, all right, we lucked out. It was on the market and never sold back in 2016. It is just under an acre. And we've got a PIN number. So what would we be looking for? What does land sell for in Marcellus? What does land sell for in Marcellus? So let's go in here. This is area 341. So we're going to go by area. We're going to open up another workspace. And we're going to click on general search for land. Land is its own animal. If it's commercial, by the way, we got a commercial expert. We're going to have an announcement about Alberto, our commercial expert that I'm excited about sometime soon. 0.5 acres. Let's go up to 3 acres. So we're going to show you we can divide by acre. Let's go closed, because we're really focusing on closed more than anything else. And there's Marcellus. 82 matches. Let's go back. I'm going to go back longer, 24 months, 22 matches. So we're looking, can we find out by acreage? Can we do some math? Are we seeing any price bands? So there's an acre, just under an acre. There's just over an acre. There's some closed comps. Starting to see a price band, aren't we? So this is an acre and a half for 35,000. So what is that per acre? 35 divided by 1.47. Trying to figure out that. 36 divided by 2 is 18,000. You see where I'm going with this? So we're starting to see that these bigger parcels, 38 divided by 2.2, it's about 18,000. So we are seeing then for acreage, 2.52 divided by 40,000. Let me do the math. 40,000 divided by 2.52. 15,000 at 16,000 almost, rounded off. 2.5 at 40,000, 16,000. So guys, we got our math done for us. It's much easier than I thought. So let's go ahead then, and we're going to take out this one crazy closed comp that's 2 acres for 24,000. That may not even be buildable land. And let's put in these extra ones that are leaning into that same equation, creating that price band. And we're going to be able to then show this client the same way. Now, if you want to make it real easy, you can click on the little printer button and do what's called a CMA summary. What did I tell you, though? That is not a CMA. So we're going to preview that. And you can see like they do median and things like that. It does give you the acreage, so you can do the math easy for them. But the nicer way to do this, again, would be that CloudCMA. Create a new CMA. I'm going to send it to Karen. And again, the address on that is 801 Bratton. Did pull up, shockingly enough. Tax data found. Although it does not have a house on it, she said. So I'm going to take that square footage out. We're going to fetch the listings that, again, we've selected. You can see these averages. But again, because you're dealing with different acreage sizes, you're going to be able to, by the way, customize that. And you could divide that acreage right in the math. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that report. And actually, let me go back and customize that just a little bit more. And so what am I going to add as custom pages? Well, if I've got my default template, there's a lot of junk in there, which is why I didn't used to love CloudCMA. I'm going to take out all the junk. There's way too much stuff in there. And I'm not going to have a cover page. I'm going to have the map of all listings, the comparable statistics, the online valuation, sold property analysis, and I'm going to add the digital seller guide, the ad center, expert marketing suite, definitely a smart sign because that's vacant land, AdWorks, and the $7 million. And again, I'm going to move the 7 to the bottom. I don't care where you put it. And I'm going to publish that report. If you wanted to edit this, so let me go back and show you in customization where you could do some editing to the value. So if I click on listings and then see where it says notes and adjustments, what would I do with this $38,000 one? What is that? It's 2 acres, 2.2 acres. So I would make an adjustment for that to say this is less acreage. So this is double the size lot. 38,000 divided by 2. We're just going to round a little bit. That's 19,000. And actually, what do I need to do with that? Put a parentheses in front of it. Or 19 minus 19,000. So double the lot size. And now what is my value? 19,000. I'm going to do the same with this other one. Notes and adjustments. That's 2.52 acres. So I'm going to then say adjustment value. Much larger lot. Over double the size. I'm going to take off 22,000 just as a guess on size. No, do 19,000 again. just to be consistent. Any questions on this? So I'm going to now click on Customize Report and see, because we're using it in CloudCMA, everything is edited for me. And now I've got this report. And I'm ready to send. So I'm going to send this on to Karen. Guys, you have a copy of this training coming to you as your daily dose for tomorrow morning. I really appreciate your time. And I will also have a link with that for you to go ahead and add in your custom pages. Let me just show you this real quick. If you click on your picture in CloudCMA and then click on custom pages, that's going to be where you add the materials that I just referenced. So see where it says custom PDF pages? Scroll down to the bottom. It's going to say upload PDF. And that is right where you're going to put those pieces that I was just discussing with you. And I'll go ahead and for those of you that are on with us right now, I will go ahead and send you the document right in the Drive folder. It's called Seller Assets. Seller Assets. Project X Seller Assets. So all of you will be able to use this now. So this is in the chat. And this will also be sent out to the office. Jeff, good to see Jeff on here. He's one of the first people that did some of the prospecting we've talked about to get more listings. So here it is. Once you've got people to prospect, this is one of the great things to send to them. Thank you guys so much for being here. This has been recorded. It is my pleasure to be your host every day for different topics. Tomorrow's going to be a barn burner. Can't wait to see you there. Bye-bye.